Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, now that we're a little bit more than halfway through the year, I am going to give you a full reading for each sign, all that's going on for you. So this is going to be a little bit more in-depth and entailed because so much is happening. And you're going to have to know how this particular month affects you. Okay. So remember, I am a sidereal Vedic astrologer. So what I'm talking about are your sidereal positions of your moon and your ascendant. It is not your tropical Western astrology. And if you're looking up using your tropical Western sun sign, then it's not going to be correct, period. So don't do that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then get your chart calculated. You can go to my website and use my free chart calculator, which is galacticcenter.org. While you're there, please check out all the offerings I have. My Patreon page. It is amazing. You can become part of our spiritual community. We meet live every week. Another thing is the Galactic Planner. What I'm doing for you today is more a little bit of entertainment because I'm not looking at your chart, but my Galactic Planner does. It will take your entire birth chart, calculate it, and give you the predictions that you need every month. It is now an app. Go to the App Store and get galacticplanner.com. Okay, so that is the name of my app, Galactic Planner. So galacticplanner.com. And next but not least of all, if this inspires you to learn Vedic astrology, I have the most advanced school out there. Go to my website, universityofvedicastrology.com. So now let's get going. What I'm going to tell you to look up is, if you go to my website, it's not so easy to read the charts. Scroll to the bottom. Find out what your MO is. That's your moon sign, and AS, that's your ascendant. Those are the two signs you listen to. So if your moon or ascendant sit in sidereal Aries, then this is a month you're going to feel a little bit apprehended or stuck in some way. I say that because Aries is the sign that's surrounded by both Saturn and Mars. So you feel a little frustrated, and this is why you feel like you just can't get going the way you would really love to get going. Saturn's in your 12th. And this has been frustrating too, because it seems like things from your past still keep haunting you. It's time to let them go and heal them. That is the major blocks that are going on. And with Mars transiting your second house this month, you can be more impulsive in your spending and be careful about what you're saying. You may kind of blurt things out that you wished you hadn't said. Now Jupiter is just rolled into your 4th house. You might be looking at a move this month, thinking about what you can do to change your living environment. So maybe you're going to change your home, your house, or you're going to move, maybe renovate. And it is a time of finding your security. That's what it's all about. So if your moon or your ascendant sit in sidereal Taurus, then this means that where there's this sort of like blockage is about the past and people from the past, these kind of matters, because Mars and Saturn are surrounding your 12th house. And that deals with the past. And it also deals with sleep. So be aware if you're having problems sleeping, this is temporary, at least while Mars is in your birth sign. And Mars being in your your moon or your ascendant sign means you feel very impulsive, impatient about things. You do have a little bit more energy going on. And Jupiter, while it is transiting your 3rd house, you might be traveling this month or this summer. It's a great time for traveling and being connected with friends, particularly, though, I want to say siblings, brothers or sisters you might be visiting more so. And with this also, with Saturn being in your 11th house, this actually means you have really put a stop to some of the friendships that haven't been working lately. And let me just say, when you close the door to old friendships, new ones are going to open up. But right now you're feeling a little alone and disconnected with your friends. If your moon or your ascendant sit in sidereal Gemini, then this means that Saturn's been in your 10th house. And yeah, there's been a little setback or delay with issues around work, career. Maybe it's time to change careers. But here's another thing. You could just be overwhelmed and overloaded with huge responsibility. That's what I'm seeing. And the area that's blocked, where Mars and Saturn surround, are your 11th house. So you don't feel supported by your friends. No, they've kind of let you down during this time. Mars is in your 12th. So it is a time when things of the past will reemerge, and it's time to clear them out and know that if you clear them out, you'll clear out your blocks. So Mars being there, do be aware that possibly people will arrive from the past that were very difficult and caused you problems. People might be talking behind your back in the workplace. Be aware of that. And with Jupiter in your 2nd house now, it's easier for you to make money. Money is coming around, and you will do really well financially this entire month and for the next months to come. All right, so if your moon or your ascendant sit in sidereal Cancer, then this means Saturn's been in your 9th house. And this means you've been changing all of your belief systems. And if you're in school, it's been a lot tougher. If your father's still around, you could have difficulties for him. And the place that you feel a little blocked is going to be your career, because we have Saturn and Mars surrounding your 10th house. So it just makes you feel a little bit more blocked than usual. You can't get things done like you used to. But Mars is in your 11th house. And you got to be careful of friends that are a little too friendly and you don't know why. They want something from you. Be careful. And this can also represent that you could have some friends that are very jealous of you. So don't give them any reason to be more jealous. Now, Jupiter is in your 1st house. You feel more optimistic about the future. You feel excited about things. You're looking forward to a new world, a new life. And you're right. Things are going to start coming together for you like never before. But be a little aware of what you're doing in terms of your diet. You could be a little bit excessive. So, if your moon or your ascendant sit in sidereal Leo, then this means that Saturn's been in your 8th house. It's been a time of deep psychological search, and you've really been trying to get to the bottom and the core of what makes things tick in your life, and you are coming up with some answers with hard work. The 9th house is surrounded by Mars and Saturn. this is the area that you feel blocked. And that would deal with travels. It could deal with education, but it probably could have something to do with your father if he is still around. Now, Mars is transiting your 10th house, and this is actually great for work. Things are moving forward. Your career, but be careful what you say around your boss. He could take offense very easily. But Mars in the 10th does bring opportunities for career. If you're looking for a job, it's time to get out and get going. Jupiter's in your 12th. This could be a time of visiting foreign lands and countries, and it's also a time of healing of things from the past. And you will find that you rest better, you're sleeping better during this time. But there's so many healings that bring things together from letting go of difficulties that you once had, worrying about things from your past. If your moon or your ascendant sit in sidereal Virgo, then this means Saturn is in your 7th house. And over the course of the past year, relationships have been more of a responsibility, and you have to work harder to keep things going and interesting. Now, the 8th house is surrounded by malefics. So this can just mean that your deep psychological side is not revealing much to you. You feel a little stuck. Your intuition is not flowing like it normally does. Don't worry, this is very temporary. And while Mars is in your 9th house, yes, you could go on some sporadic trips that happen spontaneously. Go, it will be fun. And you could even be going with a friend, because I'm looking at Jupiter being in your 11th house, bringing new friends, new associates together. So I am seeing, yes, travels, but your opinions and your belief systems, keep them to yourself. Don't be trying to push your ideas on to others. Okay, so if your moon or ascendant sit in sidereal Libra, then Saturn's been in your 6th house, and your health needs to be watched more carefully. Or maybe you become more disciplined and focused and learn more about health and healing. But your 7th house is blocked, and that deals with your relationships. So you might find that this is a little bit more difficult dealing in partnerships, getting them to understand what you need them to understand. And furthermore, this could just be a temporary, brief, taking a hiatus from relationships. Mars is in the 8th, and this represents deep research, analysis, and psychological interest coming up to better understand why things are the way they are. Even a metaphysical dive into things, but your ability to research things is spectacular during this time. And Jupiter is in your 10th house now. So this brings great opportunities for your career, promotions, advancement, all sorts of wonderful things for your work and your career. And if you're looking for a job, now's the time. Or if you have your own business, it's time to expand. If your moon or ascendant sit in sidereal Scorpio, then this means Saturn's been in your 5th house. This might be the year or the time that you're an empty nester if you have children. And another thing is you become more focused and disciplined with your mind, the intelligence, working harder. And it's probably not the best time for you to invest with Saturn in your 5th house. And if you do have children and they're not leaving the nest, Pay more attention. They need your insights. Jupiter is in your 9th house. You will be traveling throughout these next coming months. Long distance travel, exciting things, or maybe going back to school, learning some new things, or learning on your own, but a high level of new learning. And if your father's still around, you may come together more often. Now, Mars is in your 7th house, which tells me if you're in a relationship, it can be a little bit more testy. They can be a little bit more argumentative. If you're looking for a relationship, you might find that the people you attract are a little bit difficult. So lay low with that. And your 6th house is the house that's being blocked. So that pretty much means take care of your health and be aware that people in your workplace may not be as easy to get along with. If your moon or your ascendant sit in sidereal Sagittarius, then this Saturn's been in your 4th house. You're not so happy with the conditions that you're living under. Maybe you want to change your house, maybe you want to redecorate, maybe you feel something's not right in the house, or even if your mother's still around, some conditions with her. Now, Jupiter is in your 8th house, and this makes your ability to research and analyze things very profound. But usually when Jupiter is in the 8th, you come into money through other people. There can be an inheritance, a settlement, anything to do with money coming through others during this time. Mars is in your 6th. Be careful about how you handle things in the workplace. Don't be too aggressive or too impulsive with others that you're working with. And this could be a time that new interest in health come into play. This is what this is about. But be careful of accidents. You're a little bit more accident prone. And the house that is blocked the most is the 5th house. This deals with your intelligence, your mind. You feel like there's just a heaviness coming over your thought processes. This is very temporary, and it's not a time to invest. So if your moon or your ascendant sit in sidereal Capricorn, then Saturn's been in your 3rd house. And maybe you feel like some trips or travels or even education and schooling, there's been delays around these things. And with Saturn being there, if you have any siblings, you might find separation or not coming together with siblings like you want. Now, Jupiter is in your 7th house, which is fantastic for relationships, coming together with other people in terms of business partnerships, but as well, if you're looking to fall in love, now is the time. If you're in a relationship, your partner is doing very well during this time, and so is your relationship. Mars is in your 5th, which makes you excited about creative projects, and your mind is full of life and energy. And don't be too impulsive, though, when it comes to investments. Take it easy and study things better. Now, your 4th house is the house that's being blocked. Therefore, with the 4th house being blocked, remember that anything dealing with your sense of security feels like it's lacking. It's not coming together. And if your mother's still around, there may be a little issue with her, so just be aware. Or you're just not communicating well. But when it comes to the home, if you're trying to renovate or you're trying to move, it seems like things just aren't moving the way you want them to. So if your moon or your ascendant sit in sidereal Aquarius, then Saturn's been in your 2nd house. You've been a little concerned about your finances. You got to get it together, be more disciplined, more focused, and more responsible. And you might find that there could be some issues around the family that need to be worked out. Now, Jupiter is in your 6th house, so this is good for everything to do with health and healing, and even coming together with people in the workplace. You're feeling good about the help and the support you get at work. If you want to adopt a pet, now's the time to do it with Jupiter in the 6th house. Mars is in your 4th house, so things could be getting torn up in your house. Maybe you're renovating, maybe you're wanting to move, but there's a lot of action and energy going on in the home. And if your mother's still around, you might find that she's a little bit more difficult to get along with just during this month. Now, the house that's being blocked is your 3rd house. So I would think that maybe some trips or travels may be blocked, may not come through like you wanted it to. And or if you have any siblings, you're just not connecting the way you normally do. So if your moon or your ascendant sit in sidereal Pisces, this means that Saturn's been in your 1st house. It's been a heavy time. Over the past year, it's just been more responsibility. You feel a little bit like things aren't as easy or fun. It's just you've got to work harder, and that's okay. Jupiter is in your 5th house. You do have a very active mind and creative abilities that are fantastic. But if you're wanting to expand your family, if you want children, this would be the time that it could happen. But altogether, since the 5th house is the house of creativity, things that we create, children being one, it is also your creative projects. If you're an entrepreneur, then you're coming up with spectacular new ideas for business and work. So Mars is in your 3rd house. This is actually good for willpower, courage, your drive, your ambition is really picked up. And you really want to move about, do things, travel. This is the time. And if you have any siblings, you may not be getting along with them as well as you normally do. There can be some conflicts. But the house that's being blocked for you is the 2nd house. So be aware that the area of your finances will be a little stuck, and the area of dealing with your family will feel a little dry and you can't get things to work. This is very temporary, but I want you to know that the reason why I'm telling you, because it'll be over with soon. Okay, this covered all 12 signs. I went over where all the planets are affecting you, and even where, this is called a Papacari Yoga, where we have 2 malefics surrounding a house, Mars on one side, Saturn on the other, and that will deal with the area that we feel blocked. All of us will have, it's wherever the house of Aries is in your chart that you will feel blocked. So with that, remember, if this has inspired you to learn Vedic astrology, go to my website and become my student, universityofvedicastrology.com. Thank you.